Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for April 10th. And we're back. Some technical difficulties here. Hopefully everybody can hear and see me. We are live, pal. Anyways, Friday Night Smackdown, April 10th, 2020 recap here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your viewership and support. As I was trying to mention, today is the 20-year anniversary of WCW Monday Nitro when Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo started the New Blood angle. A little bit of trivia for you guys out there. There will be some more trivia later on, so stay tuned. We kicked off SmackDown post-WrestleMania with the brand new Universal Champion, Braun Strowman. We had a recap of WrestleMania. Strowman talked about answering the door when opportunity knocks. Goldberg gave him everything possible, spear after spear after spear. Strowman said he refused to stay down, and he put Goldberg down for good. Interesting comment there from Braun Strowman, putting Goldberg down for good. Strowman was interrupted by Shinsuke Nakamura, who was not happy about losing the Intercontinental Championship to Strowman. Nakamura basically challenged Strowman to a match, and Strowman said, "Be careful what you wish for." Later tonight, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to get these hands. And that set up our main event for the evening. However, Cesaro came from out of nowhere, and Nakamura hit a kick, took off before Strowman could make his comeback, and that was the end of the segment. We had our first match of the evening, which was a rematch from WrestleMania. We had the Kabuki Warriors challenging Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team titles. By the way, I do want to add that on commentary, we had Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Corey Graves is back doing commentary duties with Cole. Happy to see Corey Graves back. Not sure I ever thought I would say that, but it is better to have two people on the show instead of one, as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, back and forth match here between the ladies. The Kabuki Warriors hit the Doomsday Device, and then Asuka put the Asuka Lock on Nikki, but then Alexa Bliss made the save, and then Nikki Cross hit the Twisting Neck Breaker to pin Kairi Sane and retain the tag team titles for herself and Nikki Cross, or Alexa Bliss, excuse me. Pretty good match here to kick off SmackDown. We had an Elias promo. He was up on the platform where King Corbin knocked him off a couple of weeks ago, and Elias sang a song which was entitled Walk with the King. We had footage shown from the fall, and Elias talked about how he came back just like Simba to become the king, and then footage was shown from WrestleMania, and Elias even teased having the Money in the Bank briefcase, which, by the way, the pay-per-view is still on, despite the arena event in Baltimore being canceled. Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view will take place most likely at the Performance Center. We had a recap of Otis and Mandy Rose, their big moment at WrestleMania, the kiss. Corey Graves talked about how it's just a novelty. We then had Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville come out. Ziggler talked about how the footage from WrestleMania was doctored. He said he knows what's best for Mandy. And then Sonya and Ziggler talked about how they want to just talk to Mandy and discuss things with her, try to patch things up. Tucker came out and then showed some photos from the past week. Mandy Rose and Otis together, training together, eating bananas together. Tucker said he has some unfinished business with Ziggler, and that led to a rematch between the two of them from last week's SmackDown. Sonya Deville interfered during the match. Tucker, though, managed to come back. He slammed Ziggler on the announce table, got him back in the ring, but then he ran towards Ziggler, missed, went into the ring post, and then Ziggler hit a super kick and picked up the 1-2-3 over Tucker. There was a preview for an upcoming edition of SmackDown, which will be Triple H's 25-year anniversary. I wonder how this is going to play out. Will Shawn Michaels show up? Will Henry Godwinn show up? Which characters from Triple H's past will appear on this SmackDown? Will it be a whole show dedicated to Triple H? I guess that remains to be seen. Ken terminated by Google with a $3 super chat. Thank you, Ken. He says, Aaron Rift predicts Elias to be Mr. Money in the Bank again. I'm not sure. I would need to see all of the participants for Money in the Bank. I feel like this year's Money in the Bank winner should be a heel. But then again, I say that most of the time because I feel in general a heel is better as the Money in the Bank holder. I'm hopeful the winner will keep it for a while. I feel like the last few years, the Money in the Bank winner ends up cashing it in right away, both the men and the women. Bobo Beware with the $2 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, hey Aaron, big fan. Where is Bobby Roode? Good question. Bobby Roode might be one of those guys that doesn't feel comfortable doing the Performance Center shows. But I haven't really heard anything about Bobby Roode. I thought Corey Graves might not be back because of the situation, but he's back. Maybe we will see Bobby Roode next week or in 2 weeks. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, why hasn't Florida's governor shut down the PC tapings? Because WWE has been following the CDC guidelines, and I guess WWE's arguing that they are an essential business because they're entertainment and people need entertainment, people need hope, yada, yada, yada. Apparently, there's a report going around that next week WWE is going to resume taping the shows live, which is very interesting to me because I feel like part of the reason WWE has been able to produce these Performance Center shows with the lockdown is due to the fact that the shows are taped and WWE can bring in a few people at a time. When it's live, I feel like it's going to be way more difficult to produce a show and follow the CDC guidelines. Very interesting turn of events here as far as what's happening next. But we all know Vince is very defiant and he will want to keep the show going as much as possible. And they will try to do it. They'll follow the guidelines as much as possible, but they're going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. And I don't know if Florida will actually force WWE to shut down. Keep in mind, they are guidelines, recommended guidelines to follow, and WWE has pretty much been doing that. doing everything as far as safety measures go to keep the show going and keep the government satisfied and not breathing down their necks constantly. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, Vince versus the U.S. government, round 2. We'll see. I mean, it could continue to be an interesting period with WWE trying to get back to normal as much as possible. And we're going to put this Ryan King guy in timeout since he seems to be just complaining about everything. All right, moving on here. We had footage shown from the ladder match at WrestleMania, the three-way match, of course, due to The Miz being sick. Miz was back this week, though. Miz and Morrison with a special edition of the Dirt Sheet. Miz talked about how it's been hard times for the citizens of the world, but there's good news. They are still the tag team champions. Morrison had to chime in and say that he was the first person to ever retain the tag team titles by himself. But then Miz said he's the first person to retain the tag team titles from his couch. To answer the questions in the chat room, I do not know where Sami Zayn was on this show. Again, WWE probably cycling guys in and out and trying not to have too many people on one show. Hopefully it's nothing serious with Sami. Hopefully he's not sick or anything. We had Miz and Morrison then start singing a song. They did a live performance of their Hey Hey music video, which was actually pretty good. I thought both of them did very well here. Miz even referenced how the song is Pee Wee Herman's favorite. We had the Usos come out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Usos interrupting the festivities. Miz was very angry about this. Morrison said they're bringing negative energy. Usos talked about how last time they checked, the tag team titles were supposed to be defended in tag team matches. Miz brought up how he is not medically cleared. He is still injured. Of course, we all know the real reason is that he got sick, but in storyline, Miz is injured, not medically cleared to compete. Kofi Kingston and Big E came out, and Miz once again said he's not clear to compete. Kofi Kingston said that they went and spoke with Fox executives. They spoke with anybody that would listen, a bunch of other people. And Kofi said, hey, since only 3 people participated at WrestleMania, it's only fair that the other 3 get to participate. And therefore, next week on SmackDown, it will be Jey Uso versus Big E versus The Miz for the SmackDown tag team titles. Good segment here, and I like the idea of the other 3 competing for the tag team titles since they were not part of WrestleMania. Makes sense to me. I thought this was a good segment. Next up, we had the main roster debut of the Forgotten Sons. That's right. We got an NXT call-up. It is the SmackDown after WrestleMania. Forgotten Sons, interesting choice to be called up. Not exactly the most popular act in NXT. I mean, they were more or less lower card NXT guys, which makes me really scared for their chances on the main roster. I feel like these guys might fizzle out in 2 weeks. I really do. I would not be shocked if they're just Sanity 2.0, where they'll get pushed for a few weeks, they'll lose, and then they'll just fizzle out. They'll be on main event, and maybe one of them, maybe the man formerly known as Gunner, will get a little bit of a push, although Eric Young really did nothing. But yeah, I feel like these guys are not going to last long. They did defeat the Lucha House Party in their first match. For now, they're not forgotten, but time will tell if they will be memorable in WWE. I feel like they're fighting an uphill battle because even the top tier guys like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, we fear if they get called up, they're going to get lost in the shuffle. So how are these guys, the Forgotten Sons, going to make it to the top? We got to block some people in the chat room. Hey, guess what? If you guys don't think I'm up to par, go somewhere else. If you have to announce that somebody's better than me, go watch them. So a few people have to be in here. We got some people that do not like me. And hey, I cannot please everybody. But if you're going to spam the chat room, then you're just going to be put in timeout. Let's move on here. I guess a couple of people butt hurt from what I said during the No DQ review. But hey, it is what it is. Can't please everybody. Moving on here. By the way, where are all the moderators? Kayfabe Candy asks, where you at? We got like no moderators here, so I'm stuck dealing with the trolls tonight. I may have to assign a few new moderators in the chat room because we definitely have some trolls in here right now. Backstage, we had Carmella with Dana Brooke challenging Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the tag team titles. Alexa Bliss wanted to think about it. However, Nikki Cross was very impulsive. She just blurted out, challenge accepted. Hey, Caitlin made it to the chat room, so we at least have one moderator here now, thankfully. I will have to assign some more since usually there's like 4 or 5 in here and they are not here. So that just goes to show that maybe what those trolls are saying is true. Maybe the moderators are watching somebody else right now, or maybe nobody cares about the empty arena Smackdowns. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Who knows? Maybe I'm over the hill. Maybe WWE is out of touch. Maybe I'm out of touch. Kill Gaze with a $1 super chat. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Yes, Kayfabe Candy Ass is here. Better late than never. Kayfabe, you are needed, my good friend, because we got some trolls in the chat room. I may have gotten rid of them, but the troll spray sometimes doesn't work 24/7, and some of them may come creeping back. Ken terminated by Google with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Ken. He says, Rift, make me a new mod. By the way, I hope you ain't mad that I'm saving my money for Cherry's live stream. I respect the champ, Aaron. Well, much like Larry David respects the wood, Ken terminated by Google respects the Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion. So I'm glad about that. Thank you for that, Ken. And let me see here. I think you are officially a moderator now for the chat room. So, Ken terminated by Google, moving on up in the No DQ galaxy. Time to block some of those trolls. All right, let's move on here. Talk more about SmackDown. We had Bayley and Sasha Banks come out. Bayley cut this promo about how Paige failed to make a match that would result in Bayley losing the championship. Bayley said she's beaten everybody. She's the best. But then she pointed at Sasha and said, we're the best. They are the ultimate role models. Sasha said that none of the sheep understand their friendship. All of a sudden we had Tamina Snuka come out, or just Tamina. Bayley was starting to kiss Tamina's ass, saying that, yeah, Tamina put on a pretty strong performance at WrestleMania. Tamina brought up how nobody actually beat her. It took all the other participants to pin her at WrestleMania and eliminate her from that match. Basically, Tamina wants a match one-on-one with Bayley for the championship. Sasha was like, hold on, there's a pecking order. And Sasha started getting in Tamina's face. Bayley had to hold her back. Bayley then said, maybe Tamina could get a match for the championship. However, she has to earn it. So on next week's show, if Tamina could beat Sasha Banks, then Bayley will put the title on the line. And Tamina said challenge accepted. However, warned Sasha Banks that Sasha's bestie, Bayley, just screwed her over. We had a Jeff Hardy video package, which was pretty cool, showing how he got started in the wrestling business, backyard wrestling, wrestling on trampolines, and then doing indie shows, eventually getting to WWE and working his way up to the top. Good stuff here. I would not mind if WWE did a slow burn here with Jeff Hardy and show some video packages, and then when we get back to normal, Jeff Hardy makes his big return. No more words, his old music is back, and you give Jeff Hardy this huge push. That would be pretty cool. Ken terminated by Google with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Ken. He says, Arigato, Aaron Rift. Sorry for my anti-Bella comments. Just being real, Caitlin. Thank you for making me a mod. I will not let you down, Rift. Well, I'm enjoying Total Bella, so I'm just going to say that and make sure I stay in good graces with the future misses. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, why hasn't Tamina gotten better over the years? Well, some people have it, some people don't. I think Tamina's all right. We really haven't gotten to see much of her, and this is her opportunity. So I think now more than ever, she will have a chance to sink or swim. And maybe WWE will not give up on her so quickly, because the thing that Tamina has to her advantage right now, I think, is that there's no crowd. She can come out there and just do her thing, and she can be focused, and she doesn't have to worry about what chants and people yelling out, who are you? And she doesn't have to worry about Vince hearing a lack of crowd reaction and saying, okay, this is not working, we're dropping the push. Tamina might actually get a real opportunity here and benefit from no crowd. Because crowd, I think, if she came out here and there was a crowd, yeah, it would probably bomb. There would probably be no reaction for her. But now she can come out there, she can focus on the promos. Maybe this will be good for her. Maybe no crowds will be what Tamina needs to reach that next level. We'll see. This is a great opportunity for her. Master Debater with a $2 super chat says, if you mod me, I will give you the SUCC, I promise. I'm guessing that's some kind of slang term that I'm not 100% sure on, but I have a feeling I know what it is. Let's move on here. We had Sheamus one-on-one with Cal Bloom. Now, some of you might be wondering, who in the hell is Cal Bloom? Cal Bloom is the son of Wayne Bloom. Some of you might be, who the hell is Wayne Bloom? Wayne Bloom is the son of, or Wayne Bloom is the father of Cal Bloom. Wayne Bloom is a former WWE superstar known as Bo Beverly of the Beverly Brothers. And as Kayfabe Candy Ass points out, Tamina is 42. Time is not on her side. Good point there. So again, now or never for her. Anyways, Sheamus beat Cal Bloom, the son of Wayne Bloom, formerly known as Bo Beverly of the Beverly Brothers. And after the match, Sheamus had a little bit of a stare down with Corey Graves, which I thought was very interesting. For those of you that checked out Corey Graves' podcast or read about it on NoDQ.com, Corey Graves was talking with Edge and brought up the idea that, hey, maybe he should get checked out by Dr. Joseph Maroon. If Edge could come back, if Daniel Bryan could come back, why not Corey Graves? I thought this was really interesting. I don't know if this was a subtle tease for something, but I definitely took note of that Sheamus gave this glare over to Corey Graves right after Graves made those comments. Now, of course, this could all mean nothing, but hey, sometimes there's something to it. We'll have to wait and see. I guess never say never, right? We had our main event match of the evening, which was the new Universal Champion, Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Cesaro attempted to interfere during the match, but all in all, it was a squash match, basically. Strowman made quick work of the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. Remember when Shinsuke was actually a big deal? Oh, I remember. After the match, we had a Firefly Funhouse interruption. Pretty clear who the Fiend is targeting next. We had a brief history of what happened at WrestleMania between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. The puppets all insulted Braun Strowman, except for Rambling Rabbit, who said Strowman is actually a pretty good guy. Rambling Rabbit looking to get murdered once again, but I think he got spared on this show. Bray said he wants an apology from Strowman. I guess because Strowman left the Wyatt family and branched off on his own. Strowman said he's not playing games with Bray Wyatt. Bray noted that Strowman has something that he wants back, and that is the Universal Championship. Strowman responded by saying that anytime Bray wants it, he's got it. And Bray said he brought Strowman into the world. He is going to be the one that takes Strowman out of it. Strowman said whenever Bray's ready, Bray is going to get those hands. And actually, Strowman said he will be ready to let him in. And then Strowman did the bye, see you later. And that was the end of this week's SmackDown. I thought this was all in all a pretty good show under the circumstances. I thought this was one of the better, maybe the best SmackDown in the Performance Center to date. This felt the closest to a normal SmackDown. If you take out the empty arena, this felt like a normal show. There were no long match replays or anything like that. It was just business as usual. Moving storylines. We had matches set up for next week. Starting build for Money in the Bank. Felt like a normal show. You just didn't have the crowd. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent show overall. I know I'm not doing letter grades, but I thought it was a good show. So this would be in the B range for me if I was doing the letter grade, which I guess I kind of am. It was a good show. I enjoyed SmackDown. Of course, could be better with the live crowds, but what I find interesting is if WWE is going to go back to doing live shows next week. We'll see what happens with that. Could be a very, very newsworthy week as it's been for the past several weeks in WWE. Anyways, everybody, I would like to thank you all for watching and tuning in, even the trolls. Make sure you guys stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Money in the Bank, AEW, what's going on with Double or Nothing. NoDQ.com will keep you updated on all of that. Follow me at Aaron Rift on social media and at NoDQ, DOTCOM. Check out the NoDQ review if you haven't already. 80 minutes of wrestling discussion, recapping everything. I thought it was a really great stream. So check that out. Subscribe. Please spread the word. And I will see you guys next time.